So I want to spend a bit of time looking at ways we can sort out our email. Lots of emails are coming in each day. Things get lost. How can we kind of organise it to make it work a bit better for us? So I'm on the web version of Outlook here, but the full application version is incredibly similar. And we've got this one little email that's come into the box just about a meeting from an F-Conklin. Now we'll see down the side, we've got folders, and you've got inbox, drafts, sent items, deleted, junk, all that. And then we've also got favourites. And they're exactly the same. As you can see, inbox and inbox have both got one in. It's the same inbox. These are just the folders that you'd use more of. So one thing we could do, for instance, is we could create some more folders. And let's say we want to create a folder for F-Conklin. So all the F-Conklin emails go into one folder. I can either right click where it says folders and create a new folder. And you'll see it's in that big long list. If I want to get rid of the folder, I can right click on it and delete it. What I can also do, as well as right clicking on folders and create a new folder, I can actually right click on, say, inbox and create a new subfolder. And I can type in the name of the folder and I can create a new folder underneath the inbox. And what I could do if I wanted to is I could just drag that email into the folder. If I wanted that folder to be in the favourites, I would just have to right click on it, add to favourites, and you'll see it appears there. If I don't want it there anymore, I can right click on it in the favourites and remove it. So yes, we can drag that email into the F-Conklin folder, and every time F-Conklin sends an email, we can drag it into the folder. It would be better if it did that for us automatically. So what you can also do is if you right click on an email, you get this big long list, and we can do the typical things. We can delete it, we can mark it as being read, or if it's already been read, we can mark it as unread. And you've got a lot of different options, including move to a different folder or copy to a different folder. But if we go down here, we've got rules, and what I can do is I can manage any rules that I've got. We don't have any rules, so let's create a rule. And it's saying always move messages from F-Conklin to this folder. I can click on the folder, move it to a different folder. We can pick F-Conklin, click OK. Run this rule now in the inbox. Yes, click OK. And you'll see the email has automatically been moved to the F-Conklin folder. If we right click again and we go to rules and we manage the rules, you can now see there's that rule that we've created. We can click run now, we can edit the rule, and you can delete the rule if you wanted to. And you'll notice when you're in this section of the rules, we can add a new rule from here as well. So we'll call this rule meetings, and we can add a condition. When I select the condition, you'll see these are all the things that we can run rules on. So where it's come from, where it's going to, if the email's been received for others, whether your name's in the to line or the CC line, whether the subject includes something, whether the message includes something, how it's been marked, whether there are flags on it. There's a lot of things we can run rules on. So let's just try one where we say, okay, if the message body includes the word meeting, we can then add an action. So if we select an action, we can move it, copy it, delete, pin it to the top, mark it as read. You can see all these different options. We want to move it to a new folder. We want to call the folder meetings. Now we haven't got a meetings folder, so we can create the new folder there. We can just call it meetings, save. Now when you have multiple rules, it runs from top to bottom. So if the message contains the word meetings, it'll move it to the meetings folder. It will then stop. So if it came from F-Conklin, it's already processed that email. It won't move it to the F-Conklin folder. If you want to change the order that runs, then you can just use the up and down there to change the order. But just be aware, it will run from top to bottom, and if it hits one rule and runs it, it'll stop running the rest. If the email is a scam or it's spam email or a phishing email, we can right click on it and you can click on report, and you can report it as junk. So junk email just being literally spam email, or report phishing. So this is where it's pretending to be something else. So you may get an email, for instance, from PayPal or Facebook that says, we've seen a strange login on your account, click here to check whether it was you. And it's not actually from Facebook or PayPal, it's a phishing email, it's trying to get your data. If you get these emails, then please right click on them, report, and report them as junk or report them as phishing. Essentially what this does is, in the background, it enables the engine that runs all this to learn about all these scams, and it helps protect other people as well. We can also block the sender. So if you get someone who's hassling you, you can block the sender. And there's a couple of other things that's worth bearing in mind. We can flag the email, so it puts a nice little flag there. To unflag the email, you either right click and unflag, or you can just tick on the flag and it unflags it. What you can also do is pin it, and it will go to the top of your emails and stay there. And again, we can right click and unpin, or we can just click on the pin icon and it just puts it back in the list. But what you can also do is, if you go to advanced options, there is create a task. So if I click on create task, this will open the to-do. So this is the Microsoft To-Do app, and you'll see that it's in there. Again, I can right click on there, I can edit the title, I can add it to my day, I can set the reminders, I can set the due dates, that sort of thing. So if there's a job in there that needs doing, you can just right click, advanced options, create a task, and it will go into your to-do list. And the other thing worth bearing in mind, some people use this, most people don't, but it can be very useful if you're this kind of person that likes everything in its place. So we can right click, and there is something called categorize. Now by default, you'll see they just say blue, green, orange, purple, red, yellow. You can do a new category, or you can manage the categories. So you see there, and we can click on the pencil and we can change the name of the category. So we could say that that was meetings, and you can pick one of the colours. And there you go, get meetings, and then we can change the green category, and we could say that that was F Conklin. So what I can now do is I can right click and I can categorize. Now the thing with categories, one email can only be in one folder. You could make a copy of it, but then you've got multiple copies of the email floating around. But one email can be in multiple categories. So earlier on, if you've got a meetings folder and you've got an F Conklin folder, and an email comes in from F Conklin about a meeting, which folder do you put it in? With categories, I can actually categorize this as F Conklin, and I can categorize it as meetings. So you can have multiple categories on a single email. Then in the search bar, I could just type in meetings, and we will see the category appears. I click on there and it will show me all the emails that have been marked with that category. If you're coming from Google Mail, which uses labels, this is very similar to the label system in Google Mail. And as I say, it can be very useful if you're one of those people who does need everything in its place, and having that ability to mark an email as being in multiple different categories can be really useful. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas on how you can manage your emails better and make it work for you in a much more productive way.